This video is for non-sailors and fleet racers who want to watch their very first team race and understand what's going on. Perhaps you've got a loved one who team races, or perhaps you're going to try team racing for the very first time if you're a fleet racer and you want a little bit of understanding of how it works. Well, in this video, we're going to watch a 3v3 team race and I'm going to explain some of the basics of what's going on. So this race is between the 3 boats with black sails and the 3 boats with yellow sails. There are only 6 boats in the race. Now, if you're a fleet racer, or if you've watched, say, the Olympics, you might be thinking, that's not very many boats. In fleet racing, you might have 30 boats all on the same start line. But in 3v3 team racing, you'll just have 6 boats. And instead, what you'll do is you'll have lots of races over a day between lots of different teams, and that will form a tournament of some kind, a competition, whether that's knockout or a group stage or some other league. Now, if you're a non-sailor, you might be wondering, has the race already started? What's going on? Why are all of these boats jostling around? And the answer to that is that because boats don't stop dead in the water, you can't line them up on a start line like you would for, say, motorsports or for a running race. And so instead, a starting boat, which you can see on the right-hand side of the screen there, that orange motorboat, they blow a whistle saying in 3 minutes time for team racing, in 3 minutes time, you can cross the line. And so before that 3 minutes is up, all the boats jostle around for position and try and get themselves ready to start in the best place on the line and try and make their opponents get shut out and end up in bad places. So here, 4 of the boats are crossing the line there, 2 of the boats are a little bit late, and if a boat was early, if they crossed that line before the 3 minutes was up, the orange motorboat would blow a whistle, they'd display a flag and tell them they have to recross the line. So they'd have to go round and cross it again, which would really slow them down. So boats want to be fast and as close to the line as possible, but they don't want to be over it. Now, they're on the first beat of this race course. Now, a beat is when you're going into the wind, and when you're doing a team race, in the UK at least, we have a fairly standardized course, which is you do one leg straight up into the wind, you then do a leg across the wind, you do a leg away from the wind, you do another leg across, and another leg up into the wind. Now, what this means is that you get a whole range of tactics, because each leg, whether you're going into or away from the wind, has very different strategies to it. So by using a whole different range of legs, a whole different range of directions, it really makes the course interesting to sail around. Now, if you're watching here, with all of these 5 boats grouped together, you might be wondering, who on earth is winning? Which team is in the lead? Well, as they come around this first mark, it's going to be made much more clear. So, the way we find out who's winning in team racing is we use something called a combination, which sounds a bit complicated, but it's actually very simple. And a combination is just the 3 positions of the teammates. So in this case, yellow is in a 2nd, 3rd, 4th position, which means they're in a 2, 3, 4 combination, whilst black is in a 1st, 5th, 6th, so a 1, 5, 6 combination. And the way you tell if a combination is winning or losing is you add up the numbers. So 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 9, which is less than 1 plus 5 plus 6, which is 12. So 9 is less than 12, so therefore the yellows are winning. And if you have a combination that adds up to 10 or less in 3-boat team racing, then you're winning. And if you have a combination which adds up to 11 or more, then you're losing. But the good thing for black is they've got a boat in first. So there's still hope for them, because unlike in regular sailing, where it can be quite hard to overtake once you get behind, in team racing, your teammates can help you out. So a lot of people talk about team racing as being a little bit like chess on the water, because you've got loads of different strategies, you've got loads of different tactics going on, and the boats which are ahead can slow down their opponents. They can attack them and allow their teammates to pass. And they can do this by sailing them away from the course, so blocking an opponent from going in the direction they want to, or they can sail in a place which gives them bad wind, which allows a teammate to sail faster. So in this case, the black boat in 6th has given bad wind to one of those yellow boats, and his teammate is now through. So black are now in a 1, 4, 6, which adds to 11. So they're still losing, but they've gained a position, which is great. So you may be looking at those blue boats and wondering, What are they? Well, those are the umpires, and umpires can give penalties to boats when they break rules. So unlike in fleet racing, where a lot of penalties are given out on shore after racing and the sport is self-policed, in team racing, you can shout protest and display a red flag, and that gets the umpire involved. And your opponent can either take a spin if they think they have broken a rule, do one single 360 spin, or they wait for the umpire to make a decision like that one just did there, and the umpire will display a red flag, and if they think you've done something wrong, they'll give you 2 spins, 720. So if you think you've done something wrong, it's best to just spin yourself because you get less penalized for it. And a 720 will really slow you down and take you out of the race a lot. And it means that when you cross the finish line, the result is pretty final. Now, in this race, we can see at the back of the race, the black boats are doing everything they can to slow down one of the yellows and get themselves into first, fourth, fifth, which would then be a winning combination because that then adds up to 10. And the yellows are doing everything they can to stop that. So that black boat has managed to slow down that yellow boat again, and this is all part of that tactical framework of team racing, and they're coming back at them again, and the yellow boat still can't get round that mark, which is where they want to go to. And those black boats round the mark, and their teammate is in first, so now the black boats are winning. And the yellow boats think, well, that means it's our turn, we've got to do something, because we want to get back into that winning combination that I talked about before. You always want to try and end up in a winning combination. So you can see a yellow boat here is sailing away from the finish line, so away from the direction that they want to go because they want to help out a teammate. And that's exactly what team racing, as the name suggests, is all about. So that yellow boat is flapping their sail, which gives more bad wind to that black boat, and the black boat is making really slow progress towards the finish line, which is hopefully for the yellow boats going to give them time for their teammate to catch back up. And now you can see the yellow boat splitting up slightly. They're each going to take a black boat here. They're going to take one guy each, and they're going to each try and slow down their man, kind of man marking them like you might get in other sports. And that's going to hopefully allow them to slow those boats down enough for their teammate to get through. So for instance, the yellow boat on the right, what they're doing is they're blocking that black boat from tacking and going towards the finish line. So they're sailing them away from the course where they want to go. And on the other side, the yellow boat on the far left is giving dirty wind. They're giving bad air off the back of their sails to the black boat, which means that that black boat will be going slower than the others. Now, the nice thing from this race is that you've got drone footage, which means that it's really easy to see what's going on. If you go and watch a race in person, or if you're actually in a race, it can be very confusing and there can be lots going on at once. But to break it down and try and understand what's happening, just try and work out what is the combination, what positions is everyone in, what do those add to, and is it less than 10 or more than 10, so I can work out who's winning. Now the yellow boats here have done a really good job of slowing those black boats down, and you can see they're now crossing that finish line, and the yellow boats are going to cross in a second, third, fourth, a 2-3-4 combination, which is a winning combination. So the yellows win this race. And I hope you've enjoyed it because you've just watched your first team race, and I hope you understood what was going on a little bit better, and you go away and you're able to watch some other races or enjoy doing some racing of your own. If you want to learn more about some more advanced tactics, I've got lots more stuff about that. So watch some of my other videos, and I'll see you next time.